Portia de Rossi is reportedly cooperating with investigators to expose alleged illegal activities linking Jeffrey Epstein's island and Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen's wife is talking, and what she's saying could destroy everything.
It's foreskin from a Korean.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these, some of you, I think many of you know it, and it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes the serum.
What are you pushing into the skin, Sarah? Sandra? Carrie? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away.
That's Ellen on her own show, laughing about it.
Is Ellen DeGeneres, who is, by the way, a very nasty person. I've had dealings with her in Australia.
Oh.
She was quite friendly with that P. Diddy bloke, wasn't she?
Well, this is why I say release the Diddy files.
Yeah.
Release the Diddy files. Come on, Donald Trump. We want to know whose name.
So maybe she's hightailing out of there before all that is thrown at her as well.
And now she's gone, fled the country, no warning, no goodbye tour, just vanished. But here's what nobody's connecting. Ellen didn't just run because, one, she didn't flee because of bad press. She ran the moment Portia de Rossi allegedly leaked her private Epstein chats to federal investigators. And what's in those messages? That's the story they're trying to bury. Let's start with the timeline, because when you lay it out like this, the panic makes perfect sense. Early 2024, the Department of Justice announces they're launching a full-scale investigation into the Epstein files. They promise emails, flight logs, client lists, communication records, the whole thing.
Around 1,500 email chains were flagged as very disturbing. The following email has a maximum score of 10. It appears to show Epstein emailing one of his victims.
And Ellen's name? It shows up multiple times. Not once, not twice. Multiple times across investigative materials, flight logs, third-party interviews, and communication records. Now, being named doesn't automatically mean guilt. Over 300 high-profile people appear in those files. But here's the difference. Most of them stayed quiet, most of them lawyered up and waited it out. Ellen, she ran. March 2024. Ellen announces she's leaving the United States permanently.
Ellen DeGeneres and her wife, Portia de Rossi, have reportedly fled the US, bound for the UK, after Donald Trump's landslide victory. Numerous publications are reporting the couple have left the United States permanently. There are also reports the couple have put their Montecito mansion on the market.
3 months later, she's in a random village in rural England, completely off social media. No public appearances. The woman who spent her entire adult life in front of cameras is now doing everything she can to disappear. And the official reason? Trump's election. But investigative sources say something else triggered the move. Something much more personal, much more dangerous. Portia de Rossi allegedly leaked Ellen's private communications with Jeffrey Epstein to federal investigators. And according to those sources, the content of those messages is devastating. So, what exactly did Portia allegedly hand over? According to conspiracy theories circulating online, the leaked chats include private email exchanges between Ellen and Epstein dating back to 2008, conversations referencing special guests for Ellen's show with coded language investigators now believe refers to child stars, flight coordination between Ellen's team and Epstein's pilots, photos and videos Portia reportedly found on Ellen's private devices showing Ellen at locations on Little St. James Island. Now, none of this has been confirmed. There are no public court filings, no official DOJ statements naming Ellen as a target, but the rumor mill is roaring. And Ellen's behavior? It's not helping her case.
Ellen DeGeneres has been a vocal Trump critic, so the move doesn't come as a surprise to most.
That's the cover story. But insiders say Ellen didn't tell anyone she was leaving. Not her closest friends, not her production team, not even her publicist got a heads up. One source said it was like she got a phone call, and within 48 hours she was gone. What kind of phone call makes someone abandon their entire life? This isn't the first time Ellen's been connected to dark allegations, and it's not the first time someone close to her tried to warn the public. Anne Heche, Ellen's ex, the woman who knew her before before the fame, before the empire, before the carefully crafted be kind persona. In early 2022, Anne was reportedly working on a documentary called The Silent Children, a project aimed at exposing a global ring involving Hollywood elites. And then in August 2022, Anne's Mini Cooper flew into someone's house at high speed and burst into flames.
Oh my gosh, he's completely alive.
What the hell?
That's footage from the scene. Anne Heche was alive when they pulled her out. Witnesses saw her moving, sitting up on the stretcher, and then hours later, she was declared dead. The official cause? Smoke inhalation and burns. But the timing? 2 months after she warned the public. 2 months after she started naming names. Coincidence? Maybe. But when you connect it to what happened next, the pattern gets disturbing. December 2022. Stephen Twitch Boss, Ellen's co-producer, the face of her show for years, the guy who knew everything that happened behind the scenes.
Learning more tonight about the tragic side of Stephen Twitch Boss and the detailed steps he took to hide his plans. TMZ is reporting when Twitch left his home the day before, he took an Uber to a motel about a mile away. At the motel, he switched his phone to airplane mode so no one could reach him. The motel manager says he checked in under his own name and never left his room. We also now know that Twitch left his note.
He left a note, but the contents never released. Employees close to Twitch said Ellen was pressuring him, that they'd witnessed him looking tense, visibly shaken after private conversations with Ellen in the final weeks of the show. What was she pressuring him about? What was in that note? Twitch died just 2 months after the Ellen show ended, 2 months after the cameras stopped rolling, 2 months after he was no longer useful. Anne Heche, Twitch, both dead within months of each other, both connected to Ellen, both knew too much. So let's talk about what the Epstein files actually reveal, because this is where the conspiracy theories start to sync up with documented evidence.
Of this email is redacted. While this email appears to show someone scouting women for Epstein.
Investigators flagged over 1,500 email chains as very disturbing. The senders, redacted. The recipients, redacted. But the dates, locations, and language used in those emails, they match up with Ellen's travel schedule, with taping schedules for her show, with appearances by specific child stars who later went silent or disappeared from the public eye. Now, I want to be very clear. There is no smoking gun. There's no email that says Ellen DeGeneres did X, but the pattern, the overlapping timelines, investigators are paying attention, and that's not all.
You know that Ellen DeGeneres' stage set is exactly the same as on Epstein Island, with all the couches, the same colour, the same soft furnishings, palm trees, window, everything to the T.
The Ellen show set, the design, the layout, the color scheme, it mirrors the temple on Epstein's private island. Same furniture, same tropical aesthetic, same vibe. Why would Ellen model her set after a location connected to one of the most notorious predators in modern history? Online researchers have spent hours comparing images, and the similarities, they're undeniable. But the darkest part of the story, it's not just about flights. It's not just about emails, it's about what Epstein was actually doing on that island, and why people like Ellen allegedly wanted access.
It's foreskin from a Korean.
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean.
That's Ellen on national television, laughing, joking, casually talking about using human tissue from babies for beauty treatments, and it gets worse.
But the other stuff that they were doing, Wexner and Epstein at his New Mexico compound, I mean, they were doing Nazi-like experiments on aborted fetuses to make themselves live longer too.
The child's half you, you're not going to get organ rejection. That's what Epstein was actually one of his main businesses.
Stem cells harvested from embryos, from fetuses. Epstein wasn't just trafficking people, he was trafficking biology. And the elites? They were paying top dollar for treatments that would keep them young, healthy, and powerful.
Close your eyes, close your eyes. Don't speak, she doesn't talk. I can't stop shaking and it's been a week. A decision was made, but I can't tell Jeffrey. These things happen. Why didn't I close my eyes fast enough? The doctor was different again, I think from Israel. He had kind eyes, but didn't speak directly to me. This was different. A shot, and those rod-like things had a hook and so much pain. Ghislaine said to push all the pain away. I don't understand. Blood and water all over the bed, and she was right. Like a feeling when your tummy hurts and you have to push. She said to close my eyes and put her hands over my eyes, but I didn't close them because of these tiny cries. I am so lost. I saw between her fingers this tiny head and body in the doctor's hands. It reached its tiny arm up and had a tiny foot. I closed my eyes and no more cries.
That's from a diary found in the Epstein files, written by one of his victims. She describes being used as a human incubator, being impregnated, carrying a child to term, and then having it taken from her. For what? Stem cell extraction. And Ellen? She openly joked about using those exact treatments. So where does Portia fit into all of this? But here's where it gets messy, because almost immediately after those reports went viral, the pushback started. Insiders claimed Portia is lying. That she's a bitter wife looking to destroy Ellen's legacy because their marriage is falling apart. That she's spinning conspiracy theories to get leverage in a divorce. Portia and Ellen have been rumored to be on the verge of divorce for years. Sources say it's toxic, that Ellen is controlling, that Portia feels trapped. So is this revenge or is this justice? If Portia really did leak those chats, her life is in danger. And Hecha warned the public. She's dead. Twitch knew too much. He's dead. Portia knows everything. She lived with Ellen. She had access to her devices, her emails, her schedule. If anyone could confirm the allegations, it's her. And that makes her either the most important witness in this case or the next target. One of the most disturbing claims in the rumor mill involves a secret kitchen on Epstein's island. Consumption was transformation. What does that even mean? Conspiracy theorists believe it's a reference to ritualistic cannibalism, to consuming human tissue as part of an occult practice designed to extend life, preserve youth, or gain power. Sounds insane, right? But then you remember Ellen joking about foreskin facials. You remember the stem cell harvesting. You remember the victims describing medical procedures, forced pregnancies, and babies being taken. And suddenly, it doesn't sound so crazy anymore. So Ellen's gone. She's in the UK, hiding in a village most people have never heard of, and she's not coming back. But we know that's not the whole story, because Ellen didn't just leave after the election. She left after Portia allegedly leaked her Epstein chats. She left after the DOJ started digging. She left after the emails started surfacing. She left because she knows what's coming. And here's the kicker. The UK doesn't have an extradition treaty with the US for certain crimes. If Ellen is charged, if the evidence becomes public, she might never have to face it. She could live out the rest of her life in hiding, untouched, unpunished, unless Portia keeps talking. So here's where we are. Ellen DeGeneres, named in the Epstein files, connected to flight logs, email chains, and third-party witness statements. Her ex-girlfriend dead under suspicious circumstances. Her co-producer dead 2 months after her show ended. Her wife allegedly cooperating with federal investigators. And Ellen, she's fled the country. That's the question everyone's asking. And honestly, the answer might determine whether justice ever gets served. If Portia is lying, this is the most elaborate smear campaign in Hollywood history. But if she's telling the truth, then Ellen DeGeneres is one of the most dangerous people to ever sit behind a talk show desk. And the people who tried to warn us, Anne Heche, Twitch, the victims in those files, they paid the ultimate price for knowing too much. So what do you think? Is Portia a whistleblower risking everything? Or is this a scorned wife trying to burn Ellen's empire to the ground? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit subscribe if you want more deep dives into stories the mainstream won't touch. And if you made it this far, watch this video next, because the Epstein files are still being released and more names are coming. Thanks for watching.